All right, we are live. Peace and love, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, please like and subscribe. And I am Queen Tamara, your host of the Healing Cypher Show. Welcome, everyone, on this Monday, New Moon Day. Tonight's show is very informative and is a special topic. We hear a lot about diets all the time. Um, Keto diet or the low carb diet. It's so many diets, and it's really hard for people to choose what is the right one for them. We know how you eat and what you eat are very important as part of our lifestyle. So tonight we're going to be discussing the blood type diet with our beloved guest, Queen Grandmother Walks on Water. Yay! Welcome, welcome. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Halito, and great to see you as always.
Howito.
Thank you. Thank you, Mama. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, my goodness. Well, my name is Grandmother Walks on Water, and I was raised in a house of singers and musicians. So
hmm
I left my mother's house to go into the world to sing.
hmm
And I was raised during segregation, American apartheid.
Yes.
So when I got out of my mother's house was the first time I had really any contact with Anglo-Saxon Americans.
hmm
And I was not pleased with their behavior.
hmm
I've only had one job in my life because that was my first introduction into them.
Okay.
And I found them to be very unuser friendly,
hmm
unnecessarily petty and jealous and biting. And it was a whole mess for me. Because,
Okay.
in the days of segregation, we grew up in neighborhoods where all the adults loved all the children.
hmm
And they wanted to make sure you stayed on the straight path and that you had what you needed. And they did fundraisers all the time. And, the mothers would go in the community, making sure everybody was eating, and they saw everybody. We all went to the same church, so I grew up in a community that was knitted close together.
It was like a
And
family.
yeah, like
hmm
any adult could tell you, hey, what are you doing? Come over here, get yourself upstairs.
hmm
And you couldn't do anything but just listen to them because you knew that they weren't trying to harm you.
hmm
When I got out of my neighborhood and went downtown to work, that's the first time I was around adults that didn't mean me any good.
mm
Even they didn't mean each other any good. The way they dealt with each other, they were jealous and petty, and
hmm
um, they were unhelpful and biting. I was like, ooh, no. So that's pretty much the only job I ever had.
hmm
And so I went on the road to sing, and some years later, I came off the road and joined the Nation of Islam.
hmm
And once I got married and started having children, my life changed from a person that does one thing for themselves
hmm
and a person that, like adults I grew up around, you want to make sure your community is better.
Yes.
So, Mama Rashida and I started doing rites of passage for teenage girls.
Mhm.
Um, I started doing storytelling in the school system so that I could transfer songs to small children
mm
because we don't have our language. We don't know our sound, and our
Yes.
sound is hijacked by the people that run the music industry. They're using our sound against us.
hmm
So I started going into the school system, just teaching small children kayo de sare wa woko furufu beautiful ni okede de bibu bo eyetifu. So I started teaching Yoruba songs and Cherokee songs and
hmm
um, allowing our children to hear South African songs. Because in the time I was raising my children, South Africa was still struggling with, with the devils, the Dutch, trying to get them out of their country.
hmm
So, I had learned. Saying, Jin, 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 give me tandazo, give me tandazo, give me tandazo. A freedom song from Soweto. So I
Oh,
spent many years in Baltimore
mm-hmm.
teaching our people our sound,
Yeah.
helping us to remember where we came from and who we are and what we have that is of value.
Okay, great. Okay, okay. Now please share with us, the listening audience, a little bit about what is the blood type diet, because some people may not have heard of this before. So what is the blood type diet?
The blood type diet is science that says your blood type should determine your dietary habits and your lifestyle habits.
Okay.
In Japan and Korea,
Mm-hmm.
they hire you for jobs and put you together with marriage according to blood type.
Interesting. Okay.
Because they say a blood type has a personality that goes with it. So when
Mm-hmm.
they are hiring people for a job, they want to have a wide variety of blood types to
Mm-hmm.
work
Oh, for
together.
home. Yeah.
So that everybody working there doesn't think the same, doesn't respond the same, doesn't feel the same.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so you want some A's, you want some O's, some B's, some AB's.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to have a variety of personality traits.
Mm-hmm.
This is how the Asian people look at your blood type. Now in America, I noticed that the American Medical Association tries to hide your blood type from you.
Mm-hmm.
They give you every excuse in the world why they can't tell you. Your
Yes.
insurance won't pay for it. Oh, you didn't eat this morning. Oh, this, that, everything. And I'll tell you a story about my son.
Yes,
My
please.
son had to have a small procedure. His blood pressure dropped. He had a stroke. His
Mm-hmm.
blood pressure dropped.
Okay.
They said it won't take long. It'll just be, we're going to go inside his neck and put some medicine in the vein to bring the blood pressure back up.
Okay.
And I said, okay. And then I said to them, but don't give him any blood thinners. And they said to me, no, that's standard protocol. We give everybody blood thinners.
Mm-mm.
And I said, why if we don't all have the same blood?
True.
So because I'm not a doctor and they thought that they knew more than me, they gave my son blood thinner. And when they cut his vein open, he started hemorrhaging.
Mm-hmm.
And they almost killed him.
Mm-hmm.
They had to hurry up and give him a blood transfusion to save his life.
Mm.
Because people with O blood type, we have
Mm-hmm.
thin blood.
Oh, yes. Okay.
We're not going to die from blood clots, but we can die from hemorrhaging.
Mm-hmm.
People with A blood have thicker blood. So people that have A blood, they have to be sure that their blood is flowing well, like eating things like cinnamon. Like I try to avoid cinnamon
Mm-hmm.
because it's a blood thinner.
The blood
So
thinner,
when
right?
you see diets and people say everybody should drink cinnamon tea in the morning. Not everybody.
This is
That's
true.
great, but
Mm-hmm.
not those.
Mm-hmm.
And so the blood type diet, Dr. Diadamo is the one that wrote the book.
Yes.
And here's the book right here.
Cook right for your blood type.
hmm
Okay.
And so his father started the research. His father, who was a physician, also passed away, and he finished the research.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So he has um, eat right for your blood type. So this one, cook right for your blood type. It has recipes in there to help you understand what to eat.
Okay.
And I always tell people I have recipe envy with the A's
Mm-hmm.
because I'm an O, and according to him, the O's are the original blood type. They're the hunter gatherers.
I see.
O's have a lot of stomach acid, which allows us to digest meat.
Mm-hmm.
A's have hardly any stomach acid. So
Mm-hmm.
digesting meat will be a challenge for A's. And so A's should avoid animal meat.
Okay.
Yeah, they should avoid that because they don't have the stomach acid to digest it. And
Mm-hmm.
what will happen is that you'll end up with stomach problems.
Yeah.
Americans are suffering a lot with digestive issues
Yes, this is true.
because the AMA doesn't want people to know about their blood type. They are saying that the blood type diet is snake oil
Mm-hmm.
because they need people to not have control over their body.
Hmm.
They want people to be coming to them for medicine, for chemicals. And then they're combining all chemicals together. And then you look at television, they say, oh, if you took this medicine, we can sue them. If you took that medicine, stop taking it. They're not healers. They are drug dealers.
Hmm.
So the blood type diet says that each of us have a digestive system that works with some food and some food it doesn't work with. For
That makes
instance,
sense. Yeah.
yeah, I know someone who has B blood type, and
Hmm.
she said she was raised in a regular family, American family, and they ate chicken every Sunday, and she was sick her whole life because bees are supposed to avoid chicken. Their
Okay.
body cannot digest it, and it'll make them sick their whole life. And there'll be many things going on, and the doctors they'll never get to it to tell you not to eat this.
Hmm.
Because one time I had I never have stomach problems. I always said I have a cast iron stomach.
Yeah.
And one time my friend said to me, let's go to mom's and start getting water from the machine instead of buying it, so expensive, right?
Okay.
So I filled through my empty jars and I went there. I filled it up with water. And then the next day my stomach started hurting. Now I didn't associate it with the water from mom's,
Okay.
right? And then I went to the doctor after like 5 days of stomach not feeling right.
Hmm.
And the doctor said to me, well, I want to give you some Mylanta to see if it makes it better. And I said to her, whoa, hold on.
Hmm.
You don't even know what's wrong with me. Why would you give me medicine?
Right.
You're supposed to say, I'm going to send you to gastro and let them check your stomach acid. But no, you're telling me you're going to give me medicine just to see if it works? No, thank you.
To see if it right.
Yeah. So they're experimenting on us, and we're
Hmm.
the ones that are suffering. So I went back in my mind and said, okay, when did this stomach problem start? And I realized it started when I started drinking the filtered water from mom's,
Right.
like again or something like that.
Hmm.
So I stopped drinking it. 2 days later, my stomach didn't stop hurting and it never hurt again. So
Interesting.
the people that we're relying on to help us, they don't know what they're doing.
Hmm.
So I prefer to take care of my own health.
Hmm.
Like I got a concussion one time, and when they ambulance took me to the hospital, the nurse says to me, the intake nurse,
Hmm.
what medicine are you on? I said none. What health challenge do you have? I said none. She said, how'd that happen?
Mm. Like they expect you to be sick or they expect you to be on medication. I've encountered that as well. People just assume that when you get a certain age, you automatically have hypertension or diabetes, and that's not standard. That's not normal.
It
And
isn't
um,
normal.
one of the reasons why I asked you to speak tonight about the blood type, because I know you practice it, so you would be a good authority on it. And then we're all taught kind of like a one size fits all when it comes to our diet and health growing up. Like everybody's given the same food at school or at home. Everybody eats the same thing, and there's no connection between people are not drawing the connection between diet and health. And everybody, one thing does not fit all for everyone.
Right. Right.
Right.
Because I'm a person that avoided physical activity most of my life. Like in high school,
Hmm.
I failed PE 4 years in a row. Because I wasn't going to high school to sweat. I went to high school to look cute. And I wasn't about to be messing up my hair and my nails and my eyelashes climbing on nothing.
Right.
Little did I know that my blood type
Hmm.
functions better with high physical activity.
Okay.
I didn't know. And
Mm.
so the blood type diet, it says for O's, we are the athletes of the blood type. So we should be kickboxing, lifting weights, and running. I have to tell you, I wish I had known about this like, 20 years ago
Hmm.
because lifting weights makes me real calm.
Does it? Okay.
Yes. And most of my adult life, I was not calm. Everything everybody did was a big old deal to me, and I addressed everything.
Hmm.
I didn't let nothing slide. And now I go to the gym, I lift weights, I walk the track, and I love lifting weights. It makes me giggly happy.
Does it?
It
Okay.
makes me giggly happy. I can be in a bad mood and go into the gym and start lifting weights and start giggling.
Okay.
That's
Okay. It
how
gives you like a rush or a energy burst.
it's like endorphins. It's
Hmm.
like something. It's like weed. It's like something that makes me feel really happy.
Okay. Well, that's good.
And I wouldn't have known that,
Hmm.
had I not started the blood type diet. I noticed with a lot of A's can become very anxious
Yes.
and nervous about things and afraid of things because A's have to do yoga as a religion. A's
Hmm.
need to oxygenate their brain so that their internal organs can calm down and they can be able to think more clearly.
Hmm.
They cannot have anxiety over things.
Yes.
I'm not subject to anxiety, but I am subject to anger if
Hmm.
I don't control my how my brain processes information. So with the A's, their brain is processing danger or like something is not going to go well, and deeply breathing and doing deep stretching and yoga is absolutely the best thing for A's. A's are
Yes.
also the vegetarians.
Hmm.
So A's should have a vegetarian diet. I know a lot of A's are no, no, I want to have, but they shouldn't
But
because
it's not
A's
good for that
don't have
digestive
stomach
system.
acid for them. You can't digest the meat, and
Hmm.
it's just sitting there, you know, just spoiling.
Hmm.
Where with me, it's gonna burn up, it's gonna digest and push right out. Now I
Hmm.
know a lot of people that propose to an all plant-based diet
Hmm.
would not agree with the blood type diet.
Okay.
But for me, I have a really high plant-based diet because I love vegetables.
Yeah.
When I first was reading about the blood type diet, and they said I should eat meat like 4 times a week, I'm like, oh no, no, I can never, no. I just had a fit. I'm like, that I can't eat that much meat because
Hmm.
I have like a 90% plant-based diet.
Yes.
So meat for me is like 10% of my diet, and
Okay.
then I I prefer to eat meat that is not chemicalized,
Hmm.
that is not, given hormones
So like
and
grass
food.
fed,
Yeah,
organic
yeah,
fed
yeah,
meat. Okay.
yeah. So for me, I really only like to eat wild meat. So I eat bison, I eat deer, I eat elk. You
Hmm.
know, um, I'm not that fond of bear meat. I eat alligators. So I will eat things that are wild because I do not want the captivity of the animal to be transferred to me.
Okay.
I believe that a lot, like, I'm noticing that men now are very emotional. They seem to me to be very emotional.
Hmm.
And I believe that because men are primarily eating female animals,
Mm.
they're eating cows and chickens. They
And that's
don't
high
hunt.
in levels.
It's too much for them. And they're
Too much
extremely
estrogen.
emotional. Yeah, they're girly acting to me. The
Hmm.
new men, they are very girly acting. I'm like, I'm so glad I'm not young now. Oh my God, they are girly acting.
Uh-huh.
Really? Yeah. They're overly concerned about their looks and being clean and just a bunch of girly stuff. I can't take it.
Mhm.
So I think that because they never get a chance to hunt and to eat deer meat and elk and buffalo and bear,
Or wild fish or
they
something.
are absorbing too much estrogen from the female animals they're eating.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. How did you learn about this diet? Was it something someone introduced to you, or was it something you discovered because of a health challenge, or how did you learn about it?
Okay, so my Muna bought this book for me as a gift
Okay.
20 years ago.
How many?
20,
20 years ago. Okay.
and I put it on the shelf. I'm like, oh, I thumbed through it and I put it on the shelf. Then um, I started having a thyroid imbalance.
Okay.
And when I went to endocrinology, they said, yeah, your thyroid is doing this and, you need to take medicine. And I said, well, is the medicine going to heal it?
Yes.
And he said, no.
Ah, okay.
I said, so you want me to buy medicine from you for the rest of my life and just never get well?
Mhm.
He said, well, yes. And then I said, yeah, I can't really do
Mhm.
that. And he said, well, you can't heal it naturally. I said, but
Okay.
you just told me you couldn't heal it chemically, didn't you?
Right.
So that means that you say you can't heal it and you say I can't heal it. We're going to see.
Mhm.
So I never took the thyroid medicine. And since then, I've realized that every woman I know that has taken a thyroid medicine,
Mhm.
they are really, really sick and they're trying to get off.
Yeah, that based on some people I know that's the case too. Yeah.
Yeah. So because I'm careful with my diet. I eat the things that are best for me.
Mhm.
I'm 74 and I do not have any cholesterol problem. I do not have any diabetes problem. I don't have any heart problem. I don't have any. What else do old people be having? Like
Hypertension, that's high blood pressure. A lot of people
hypertension, high blood pressure. I don't have any of that. I've never had that.
give thanks.
Um, yeah, my blood pressure is like 127 over 85.
That's very
Yeah,
good. Okay.
yeah. I mean, me and Sequoia had the same blood pressure,
Mhm.
and Sequoia was 35 when he passed away.
Mhm.
So Sequoia was on a very specialized diet because he had Down syndrome, and
Mhm.
he had. The doctor said to me, um, Down syndrome people cannot expel mucus like other people.
Yes.
So he's going to have chronic ear infections, constant pneumonia. We're going to have to cut his neck open and suck mucus out
Mhm.
from time to time. And all that meant to me was don't give him any mucus forming food.
That's a good yes. Mhm.
So Sequoia really led me to the blood type diet
Oh, good.
because he was allergic to dairy.
Mhm.
I raised him as a vegetarian until he was 19. And then he said to me, I eat buffalo heart. And
Mhm.
I was like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
Um, and he had a lot of little allergies like to sugar, um, to corn, to wheat,
Mm. Okay.
you know,
Those are
to
like
all
common
the,
actions for a lot of
yeah.
people. Yeah.
And so what I did was whatever he became allergic to, I stopped eating it also
Mhm.
because I didn't want him to feel like everybody's having food fun except him. And so that meant I gave up dairy, I
Mhm.
gave up wheat, sugar, everything. And it led me to pick that book back up and see how can I further help Sequoia and myself.
Right.
When I picked it back up, I realized that old blood type people are not supposed to eat any dairy. We're
Mhm.
not supposed to have wheat, all right? We're not supposed to eat corn.
Mhm.
There's so many things that Sequoia became allergic to that was actually on the blood type diet for O's.
Interesting. Okay. He
It
just
was,
happened to be allergic to it and be an old type. Okay, good.
yep.
Mhm.
So I started looking at that um, 2014,
Mhm.
2015. I did 90 days straight with no alteration just to see if I felt better.
Yes.
And at the time I started, I had not slept all night in 15 years.
Interesting. Okay.
And as soon as I ate buffalo, I slept all night long. I was shocked because there happens to be some, um, a lot of B vitamins that my
Mhm.
body was craving, but it wasn't getting from vegetables.
Okay.
So with the O blood type, there are things that we cannot eat. For
Mhm.
instance, avocados,
Mhm.
honeydew, and cantaloupe.
Okay.
Honeydew and cantaloupe have mold in them, and O's are very sensitive to mold.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of that. Okay.
I found out I couldn't eat avocados when I was in Hawaii because there was a lot of avocados, and the children I was living around, the hippie children, they were making like, avocado cheesecake, fake cheesecake. And I noticed if I ate too much avocado, my tongue would burn.
Mm.
I noticed the same thing with honeydew. If I ate too much, my tongue would burn.
Okay.
So when I eat too much smoked salmon, my big toe hurts.
Mm.
And all those things on the old blood type diet, I'm not supposed to touch any of that.
Interesting. Okay, that's making me aware of some things because I know now I do know my body is sensitive to certain foods, and there's certain ones, although they're plant based, I can't eat at all or in moderation. I don't mind giving stuff up because I'm not attached to food. And then when I looked it up in the book, some of those things weren't conducive to my blood type. And then there's other people that I know, we hear this all the time, but people don't connect the dots. People say, well, whenever I eat such and such, I have to take an aspirin, or after I eat this or that, I need to take a nap, or I got the itis, or I get a headache, or my
Exactly.
throat starts hurting. I've been at meals with people. I was at somebody's house one time and she was baking fish. And when she started eating, she started doing like this. And I said, what's wrong? She said, the eczema acting up. And she just started itching. And I said, well, what happened? Because you were fine like 5 minutes ago. She said,
Yeah.
I don't know. I said, well, do you think it's the fish? Because she was fine. And then all of a sudden, when she was eating her meal, she started itching. And she said, I don't know. I don't know. And I was like, it has to be, because if you have eczema and you haven't had a flare up in a while, and while you're eating your meal you start itching uncontrollably and having a flare up, and you can actually see it on your skin, I think it's safe to say it's something you're eating.
Yeah, because with old blood type, I'm
Hmm.
not supposed to eat catfish. I'm not
Okay.
supposed to eat tilapia.
Hmm.
I can't eat blackberries. As much as I like them, I
Oh,
don't eat
wow.
them anymore. You can eat blackberries.
Hmm.
Um, I can eat bananas, but you can't. Bananas are
Hmm.
not for A blood type.
Okay.
And so there are strawberries, like you can eat strawberries, I cannot.
Okay.
Um, so the things that I know that are not for me, I
Hmm.
put them in the no category.
Hmm.
Now, like with the smoked fish, I really love smoked salmon.
Oh,
So
you
what I
do.
started doing is eating smoked trout. I don't have any problem with smoked trout with my toe, but when I eat smoked salmon,
Hmm.
if I eat if I eat it like 3 days in a row, because I prefer eating fruit and fish for breakfast. That's what I like to eat for breakfast.
Okay.
I don't want any heavy Anglo-Saxon breakfast. I don't
Right.
want no pancakes, no waffles, no eggs, no. That is all food from Great Britain. It is not for us
Hmm.
because we are not British. And so the fact that we are eating sandwiches, for instance, okay, a sandwich is some protein and a carb. Those
Yes.
things don't digest well together.
Hmm.
Protein is supposed to be eaten with fruit or with vegetables.
Okay.
Carbs also with fruit and vegetables, but like cow meat hamburgers
Hmm.
and cheese and bread, nobody should eat that
Okay.
because those things don't digest well together.
Okay.
So we have been given a diet from Europe that our body can't tolerate.
Hmm.
I've been to Europe and I see them eating bread and cheese all day. They don't seem sick to me.
Hmm.
And in Germany, they eat so much pork. They eat so much pork, and they
Mm.
are fine. But look at us, high blood pressure all
But that,
over the place.
it's not good for our body chemistry,
We
right?
can, because even the meat that I'm supposed to eat has to be lean meat. Like
Hmm.
I don't eat cow meat at all. It's a big old
No
fat
beef.
animal. No, and cow milk has enough fat in it to make an animal weigh 2,000 pounds.
Mm.
We have no business drinking cow milk or eating anything like that. Cheese, like if I do eat cheese, it'll be like goat cheese because a goat is an animal that's close to my own body weight,
Okay.
right? So
Yes.
it doesn't have the fat in it that cow cheese has in it. And then also, cow cheese has something in it that creates endorphins in our body. Cow cheese has something in it that makes us feel satisfied, but it's not for us.
Mm-hmm.
Europeans had to start drinking milk and eating cheese because their country is terrible. Their weather is horrible. Their growing season is so short. They don't have any food over there.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess to keep from getting rickets and starving, then they have a high wheat and dairy. Because if you go to On the way to Africa, I stopped in Amsterdam. All they eat is bread and cheese.
Mm,
And that works for them, but that's not going to work for people of the sun.
okay.
The original people from here, native people here, because
Hmm.
I'm Choctaw from Mississippi,
Yes.
and we didn't have any wheat, chickens, cows, pigs, goats. We
Right.
didn't have those animals here. And
Yes.
so when they decided they wanted to have all of our land on the East Coast, and they kicked our doors open and walked us to Oklahoma
Hmm.
to get rid of us, they sent lard, sugar, and white flour.
Started rationing foods like that.
And they mass murdered all of our buffalo so we couldn't feed ourselves.
Yes.
And so then we created something with that flour and lard and sugar called fry bread.
Hmm.
All native people eat it.
Hmm.
I don't eat it anymore because it's trash. But
It's
on the
full.
reservation, all of us have sugar diabetes and
Hmm.
high blood pressure and high cholesterol because we're eating a diet that no native person was intending to eat.
Correct.
That's a European diet. Like when you go to West Africa, nobody's gonna give you, you're not gonna get any pig and cheese, sugar. Like when they want to make something sweet, they go to the market and buy 2 tablespoons of sugar. They make
Mm.
the thing, and then everybody eats it, and that's the end of it. You're not gonna. There's no more tomorrow. So the idea of dessert, it's not part of our culture. Being having a lot of food that's very rich, buttery, sugary, milky.
Hmm.
No, that's not part of our diet. And if we continue to eat like that, we'll continue to be sick.
Okay. Now you mentioned your son Sequoia. What benefits have you discovered for you and your family's health since switching to the blood type diet? I know you mentioned that you slept better and you feel more energized since you started eating for the old blood type. But what benefits did you notice for him or other members of your family?
Well, for me, my body started going to its normal weight.
Okay.
Like I'm not a person that can count calories and go on fad diets, or I can't do anything like that. I just have to eat my regular food and decide what of my regular food I'm going to eat. So my body started going back to its normal, weight. So I started losing weight without doing anything. I was going to the gym, yes,
Hmm.
um, but my body began to go back to its normal weight. I started to become stronger. Like my physical body became stronger. Same thing with Sequoia. Sequoia became stronger. He became way less inflammatory. Like
Mm.
when he was a little boy, he had a lot of, challenges with his lungs,
Okay.
which they said would be a lifelong thing. And then it, it started to get better, you know.
Mm.
And I know he would love to eat bean pies. He would love always ask people for bean pies. But bean pies are made from some beans that oats are not supposed to eat.
Interesting.
The
Okay.
navy beans, yeah, pinto beans oats can eat, but oats cannot eat navy beans.
Okay.
Yeah, and so there are so many things that I noticed he was having, like going to the hospital less. He used to be in the hospital all the time when he was a baby,
Mm.
and then the hospital visits became less and less, and then the hospital visits became shorter. He
Interesting.
wasn't there so long, because
Hmm.
whenever he went to the hospital, I went too, and I brought my slow cooker and my juicer, and I was in there micromanaging the kitchen, saying, "No, he can't eat that. He can't eat that. Okay, he can eat that. He can't eat that." And then I was like, making smoothies. I brought my juicer and my blender
Hmm.
because the hospital is not a place for sick people. They don't know how to take care of sick people.
Mm.
Because the food that they give you in the hospital is devitamized. The last time Sequoia was in the hospital, he was without me because I had fractured my hip. So my children and his dad, they were all there with him, and he started bleeding uncontrollably.
Oh my
Like they
goodness.
couldn't keep the IV in because he was bleeding. And so Mamuna called and she said, "Ma, he's bleeding. They can't stop the bleeding." I said, "Because the food in the hospital is devoid of vitamin K." and we don't function well without having proper vitamin K because we need something to clot our blood.
Yes.
So I called my niece and I said, I'm gonna text you a list of food and vegetables that have vitamin K in it. Can you juice and make smoothies for Sequoia? She said, yes, ma'am. Sequoia was calling me saying, Ma, nobody give me cold smoothie. Ma.
Mm-hmm.
When my niece walked into the hospital room, she said Sequoia took his hand and cleared the table. Like, come on. That night he stopped bleeding.
Interesting. That amazing. So would you
I
say that this diet is anti-inflammatory as well?
well, every I would say that because for the A's, the O's, and the B's, um, he tries to he what he's telling people not to eat are things that would be inflammatory to that particular blood type. Like
I see.
like with the bees and the chicken.
Mm-hmm.
It's so inflammatory, it makes them really sick, you
Mm,
know. And sometimes sickness is not really how you feel. Sickness sometimes is how your mind is working.
I see.
Yeah, sometimes the sickness you may feel energized, but you're not your mind and your spirit is not okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to have those things in your body that protect you from your own self.
Mm,
And so your spirit, your mind, and your physicality is all working in companionship with each other.
mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay. All right. How do you think this diet would be useful for people who have degenerative diseases?
I do,
Okay.
I do. A lot of people don't want to do it because they don't want to give up things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But life is full of giving up. Your whole life, you're gonna always have to give up something to get something better, to get to the
Yes.
next thing. And so, um, because my children won't do it.
Oh,
My
they don't.
children, nope, and they should. Every last one of them should.
Mm-hmm.
Because even having emotional outbursts and things like that,
It
there's
could be
certain food,
the food.
yes,
Yeah.
certain food is triggering to us emotionally, and
Mm-hmm.
we wouldn't know it unless we stop eating it. And we won't stop eating it unless we have a plan for what's possible on the other side of that food.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Yes. And not only is it triggering, the lack of certain food can also be triggering
Yes,
outbursts or depression. You know, a lot of people are stuck on feeling bad, but they don't know why. I hear that a lot. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm sad. It could definitely be correlated to the diet, and
100%, because people put sugar in their body, but nobody with a car would ever put sugar in their gas tank.
hmm
It will ruin your car.
yes,
If
that's
you
true.
put sugar inside your gas tank, your car is not going to work anymore. So people buy expensive cars and they use high grade gas, but then they go eat at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea what you're eating. The other reason why I can't eat out, like if I want French fries, I have to cook them in the house
Yes.
because I cannot eat random oil.
hmm
If you eat something with vegetable oil in it, you have like six different oils: peanut oil, soybean oil, cottonseed oil, canola oil. We can't have all that.
Right.
We cannot have all of that. And so I cannot eat fried food. So if I want French fries, I bake them in the oven. Like I don't fry anything really.
Baked fries. Right.
hmm Um, except during, like I'll do like New Year's Day. I'll make a
Mhm.
carve. I always make a carve for New Year's Day because it's pounded black eyed peas made into fritters.
Okay.
And yeah, but I use grapeseed oil for that. I'm only going to use one oil. I'm not going to use five different
Oh,
oils. So I don't buy anything like vegetable oil, canola oil, soybean oil, peanuts, because peanuts are not for me either. So I don't eat peanuts or peanut oil.
hmm
Soybeans are not for me, are not for A's either. So I do not mess with anything that has soybeans in it. So everything I buy in the store, I read everything.
Right. And you should, yeah, should read labels. Yes.
Yeah, and if it has anything that I'm not supposed to have, I don't buy it
Mm-hmm.
because I want to feel good. I want my body to last a long time. I don't want to wear my digestive system out.
Yes.
Um, I want to be able to wake up in the morning feeling optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
A few days ago, I wasn't feeling good when I woke up. Like mentally, I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't feeling good. But since Sequoia passed away, I don't want to cook anymore
Mm.
because all of my recipes and cooking was around him. Like I
Yeah.
wanted to make him food happy.
Mm-hmm.
And since he passed away, I'm not interested in cooking or anything. It's like sometimes it's like 4 o'clock. I didn't eat anything. I'm like, oh my god, I need to eat something. I figure out something quick that I can eat. But I wasn't feeling good the other day, and so I went and slept outside on the
Okay.
earth in my tent. And I woke up in the morning feeling very, very, very optimistic.
Mm.
So not only what we are eating, but how we are living, um, even like clothes. If I see something in the store and it's pretty and it's made from polyester, I'm not going to buy it
Yes.
because polyester and acrylic clothes are harmful to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to try and give myself the most possible chance to live the most beautiful life
Mm-hmm.
that I can. And so there's many things that I'm careful about.
Mm-hmm.
I went home to Chicago, and one of somebody I knew from a child, she says, "Oh, please come over. I want to cook dinner for you." And I said to her, "Oh no, I can't." She said, "Why?" I said, "Because I don't hardly eat anything that you probably have in your house. I
Mm-hmm.
love you. I can drink some tea. We can have tea and chat." But I knew I couldn't eat nothing in her house.
Right.
Everything she had in there, for me, is poison
Mm.
because I've gone on this path long enough to know how I should feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be tired when I finish eating. I want to be energized.
Right. Exactly.
So, like all the things that we eat for Thanksgiving, we
Mm-hmm.
eat in macaroni and cheese. Okay, that's a no-no because it has dairy in it and it also has wheat in it and it has sugar in it. So I'm not going to eat that. Stuffing that goes in turkey. Stuffing is made from wheat. I'm not going to eat that.
We right.
Yeah. Um, Sweet potato pie. I love sweet potatoes. And sweet potato is medicine for old blood type,
Mm-hmm.
not for AIDS. But the crust is made from wheat and it
Right.
has milk in it and there's sugar in it.
Right.
So all the food that they describe as soul food, I can't hardly eat any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't eat ham, I don't eat pigs or cows.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm not gonna eat any Jello. I'm not gonna eat. What else do people eat for Thanksgiving?
Um. Oh, the what is it? Mac and cheese. I know. Mashed potatoes. They put a lot of people put a lot of milk in the mashed potatoes, stuff like that.
Milk and butter.
And butter.
What else do they eat? They eat
Mac and cheese. Let me think. What else? Greens.
yeah, I eat greens if there's no meat in it.
Well, you don't
I
do
eat
the mac and cheese, right?
huh?
You don't do the mac and cheese because that's wheat noodles and stuff like that.
No, yeah, I'm not messing with any cheese or milk. Yeah, so I'm not gonna eat that. So there'll be if I go to somebody's house, for Thanksgiving, there'll be very, very few things I can eat.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to separate myself when it comes to eating, from a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mind because I am in better health than the people that want me to come to their house and eat all that slave food. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
call it, slave food.
Mm-hmm.
Because we learned to eat that by being involved with these people who colonized us. We
Yes.
never ate that type of food before. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't eat that, and we were extremely healthy. So we're going to have to separate ourselves from the Anglo-Saxon diet and their culture.
Yes. Very good. Okay. Now, please share with us about your products and your business because I'm really excited to hear about
Okay. So
that.
my niece, I have been working with my niece to change her diet, for years. And then I finally convinced her. Well, she said to me, I'm thinking of going to Dr. Sabi in Honduras, and I said you should go. Her mother did not want her to go, but I was for it. So she went to Dr. Sabi, and
Okay.
she was there for 6 weeks
For how
on a
long?
vegetarian diet,
Oh,
and she was taking
there's some interference. All I heard was Dr. Sabi. You said she went to Dr. Sabi for how long?
for 6 weeks.
6 weeks. Okay.
hmm And she was taking herbs, and she was walking, and she was taking mineral spring baths, and she was eating a vegetarian diet.
Mm-hmm.
And she had been, having challenges with fibroids and with weight and what have you. And she started to feel better. She came back from Dr. Sadie and cut all her hair off because
No.
I had been telling her that the perm is giving black women cancer.
Yes.
And so she came back and cut all her hair off. Her mother was livid.
Mm-hmm.
And then in December, this happened in November. In December, she called and said, Auntie, I want you to go in business with me. And I said, doing what? She said, there's a company called Wakana, and
Wakanda.
they are helping black people learn about the blood type diet. I said, girl, you better shut up. Are
And
you kidding me?
wow. Okay.
Yes. And so they also help um, the people like detox. Because you've been eating toxic for a long time, you do need to detox.
Yes,
Uh-oh.
definitely.
Let see. And so, mm-mm. All right. I'm back. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't lose you. It just froze for a moment, but we see
Okay.
you.
So, um, the company, when she first told me, was called Wakana. They changed the name now to Akana, but
Wakanda. Okay.
yeah, and so they have a protocol where they help you go on a juice fast. They send you a list of fruit and vegetables and um, everything that you can juice, and it's a 7 day juice cleanse
Mm-hmm.
and or a 21 day juice cleanse.
Okay.
And they have a machine that you put around your hand, and it goes through your body and tells you everything that's going on inside your body.
Mm.
It checks all your levels, your kidneys, your liver, your eyes, everything, your brain, everything, your oxygen levels. And so we encourage people to do the juice fast. It's actually a raw food fast because you get up and you take the powders that they send that
Okay.
gets parasites out of your body because we've been eating a lot of things that are not even food.
Yeah.
And um, then they have something to strengthen your body up. So you do that for 7 days, and then you wait for 2 weeks, and you do the scan again to
Okay.
see how much better you're doing. And so we are, and the business also sells CBD because I used to have a lot of problems with my knees,
Yes.
and I started taking the CBD um, products from the company,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm able to be outside working harder, walking longer, just feeling overall better.
Good.
Because after I fractured my pelvis, um, I was on crutches,
Mm-hmm.
and since I have started doing the juice cleansing and the
Mm-hmm.
raw food cleansing and taking the CBD products, I am not using crutches anymore.
That's wonderful.
As a matter of fact, the third day after I was doing the juice fast is when I tossed the crutches because I always had them by my bed. When I got up in the morning, I was walking with them.
Mm-hmm.
And after 3 days of juice fasting, I got up out of the bed and walked to the bathroom with no crutches.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
I haven't used them since.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to take our health into our own hands. We have to take
Mhm.
a proactive approach to our life, whether we are young or whether we are elders.
Mhm.
We have to be responsible for ourselves. A lot of people don't want to do it because they don't want to cook at all, and they just
Yeah.
want to eat in restaurants. And Bill Gates is making fake meat now. And I'm telling you right now, the first place that is going to be is restaurants, schools, and prisons.
Mm.
And so now that the fake meat has come about, I think I can't. I just can't be someplace just eating random meats.
Right. And do they even ask what's in it? Well, if it's fake meat, what is it?
They don't care. Some people just, as long as they don't have to do anything for their own health, they don't care.
Or as long as it tastes good. Some people only eat for taste. If it tastes good, I'll eat it.
Yes. But see, once you do the juice fast, you are going to clean your palate.
Mm.
And so things that you might have needed more sugar in, now you need less sugar. It'll be too sweet for you because now you have detoxed your body, and now you really know what your taste buds are.
Mhm.
Like when you keep piling, like when you eat things like, for instance, chips, and they have like 9,000 ingredients on the back of the chips.
Mhm.
Your tongue is coated all the time, so you don't really know how food tastes
Mm.
until you clean that out. So, um, let me see. So I wanted to give you all the website to go in there and look at the detox products. I
Okay.
think everybody that goes in will be happy. I'm gonna I'm gonna freeze for a second so I can go and find it.
Yes.
Hold on.
Or if you could give it to me and I can put it in the under the description of this video too. I can. Well, I'm gonna add it in both places.
Well, how would I give it to you?
The website, can you text it to me and then I just add it to the description on under the description of the video.
Yes, I'll do it right now.
Okay.
Do it right now. There it is.
And so that's the website where people can order the juice cleanse and the
Yes,
detox.
yes,
Okay, I see it. Walks on water
yes.
dot will come.
So to everybody that goes into the website, what you want to
Mm-hmm.
do is put together mm, an account. Yeah, you want to open up an account once you go into the website, and then once you have an account, then push the shop button, and then or you can put in 7-day cleanse or 21-day cleanse,
Mm-hmm.
and you will be able to buy the products from there. And now when you start up, everybody that's going to start up, I need for let me see, I'm trying to figure out how do I connect with you, because I want to be able to coach you through it. Whoever's
Okay.
going to sign up for it, I want to be able to coach you if you need any help, if you need any
Mm-hmm.
information, if there's anything going on with you. I want to guide you through it. So
Okay.
when you sign up, the company will get you in touch with me,
Mm-hmm.
and that will allow me to be able to coach you through whatever you're going to be going through.
Okay, that'll be great.
Yeah.
All right. And so that's how they can order the products. And then you if you like, I can also share you want me to share your Instagram um and
Yes. People can
DM
contact me
walk.
on Instagram. Yep.
Okay, and I'll share that also in the description. Okay.
Yes. So if anybody wants to message me, they can if they have any questions about it. Because I've done it 3 times already, and I'm going to start again. Yeah, we have a new moon today. Yes,
Yes, today is the new moon. That's right.
I'm starting again because I have done it 3 different times. Um, you know, either full moon or new moon,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to start again. Because I need some extra energy right now, because
Okay. So
we are building a retreat center here at Mountain Eagle Place. And so I have a lot of work to do outside, so I need more energy to continue to work to build the retreat center.
that sounds awesome. Yes. That's good. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It's always a pleasure to be in your presence and to hear you speak and share your knowledge and all the benefits and things that you learn from helping Sequoia with his health.
You are very welcome. And if there's, like I said, if there's anyone that has any questions,
Hmm.
because at the retreat center, we're also going to be doing sound healing workshops because the food we eat is one part, our prayers are another part, and
Hmm.
our breath and our sound is also another part. There are
Yes.
different levels for us to just have our total health just being
Hmm.
at an optimum level, and it
Hmm.
is possible. It is really possible for us
Yes.
to
Yes.
live well and be well and enjoy our life.
Yes. Absolutely. And that's what it's about, being well and you said and enjoying your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank
So
you,
thank
Mama.
you so
So
much.
thank you. It was fun. It was fun having you on the show. And let me fix this. Uh, all right then. So thank you everyone also and the supporters for watching and listening. And hope to see you all next week on the Healing Cypher Mondays at 7 p.m. Peace and love, everyone.
Lots of kids. How you, Lee?
Yo, you Lee.